The problem is, unless he gets a caution flag, he's dead in the water.
And it causes one to just think of what could have been for Jimmie Johnson. The roles could have been reversed. Could have been Jimmie Johnson annihilating the field. However, as we've been documenting, and Joe and Jeff and Rusty and everybody on the crew's been talking about, you make mistakes in these cup races, and you're going to pay the price, and the 48 has paid a big one today. If that had not happened, that pit road penalty had not happened, Jimmie Johnson could be well in command of this race right now.
Jimmie Johnson right now in command of getting his lap back and not waiting for a caution to do it. He has caught the race leader.
Off turn 2 and on to the back straightaway. It's Truex and Jimmie Johnson. They are separated by 2 car lengths, and they've got 4 lap cars directly ahead.
Men among boys when you're talking about Truex and Jimmie Johnson. Now, Truex has waxed the field to the point that only 6 cars remain on the lead lap, but the driver running 7th, Jimmie Johnson, the fastest on the racetrack.
Here comes Jimmie Johnson. He'll opt for the lane up from the bottom of the racetrack through turns 1 and 2. Truex, meanwhile, uses the inside line of the track. Chris Buescher's lap car up next. Carl Edwards directly ahead as well.
Traffic ahead for the race leader. Martin Truex Jr. sees that and begins to wait for the waters to part so he can work his way through. Chris Buescher, first one he'll catch with 10 laps to go.
Buescher skates up the racetrack and gives Jimmie Johnson and Martin Truex Jr. all the room they need. Of course, atop the leaderboard is Martin Truex Jr. Jimmie Johnson fighting, scratching, and clawing to remain that first car, 1 lap down.
Yeah, hard to believe, Mike, that we are calling this great battle from the leader to a car that is a lap car, and that is Jimmie Johnson, but we got to follow it. It is 1st and 7th going at it, working off turn number 2.
Jimmie Johnson's got a lot of speed here with less than 10 laps to go at Dover, but his sands may have trickled from his hourglass. I don't believe there's much time left for Jimmie Johnson to rally things and turn things around here this afternoon.
Here comes the leaders off turn number 4, at least the leader, I should say, because he's on a straightaway of his own. Speaking of Martin Truex Jr., the margin currently over Kyle Busch with 8 laps to go, and you have to wait because there's a long way back there. It's a full 9 seconds back, man.
9 seconds, the separation between 1st and 2nd. As Martin Truex Jr. enters turn number 4, Kyle Busch is just pulling onto the backstretch.
So let's paint that picture for you. That is just shy of a half a lap advantage for Truex over Kyle Busch. Then a great run today by Chase Elliott, who is 3rd. Keselowski has been inside the top 5 all afternoon. He's 4th, and Matt Kenseth now is the last car in the lead lap. Logano just went a lap down. Top 5. That's it. Rusty on the lead lap.
Jeff, I'll tell you what, they're not making it easy on Martin Truex Jr. You got Jimmie Johnson right on his tail. You got Carl Edwards in front of him, and they're kind of got him surrounded. I know that Truex has got a faster car than all of them, but he can't get away from him. He's stuck in a hornet's nest right now. He's got to be really careful with only 6 laps to go.
Yeah, just tiptoeing through traffic, and Jimmie Johnson has caught him trying to get back on the lead lap. Truex doesn't need to fight here. Let him go. He pulls up the racetrack a little bit. Jimmie gets the opening, but now once again, they've caught traffic.
And Truex is trying to keep him in the rear view mirror. Never know with these cup races how they're going to go. So Truex is fighting to keep Jimmie Johnson in the rear view and also keep everything in order out the windshield.
So we are down now to the final 4 laps here on the Monster Mile here at the Dover International Speedway. Working off turn number 4 is again that Furniture Row Racing Toyota. Martin Truex Jr. taking him back to turn number 1.
Off the end of the front straightaway, he'll dive to the bottom of the 24 degrees of banking. Not really pushing the point, not really trying to get to Joey Logano's back bumper or Carl Edwards' back bumper, just maintaining a steady pace using the inside line of the track to do it.
3 to go as they come back to the start-finish line. Martin Truex Jr. crosses the stripe, sees some traffic directly ahead. He'll work on that once he gets into turn 1.
Martin Truex Jr., Furniture Row Racing, sending a strong, strong message to the rest of this entire field today. They will be forces to be reckoned with, especially today here at the Monster Mile.
Without question, this has been a dominating performance once again for Martin Truex Jr. on board that Toyota Camry. 2 to go. He crosses the finish line and heads once again back to turn number 1.
On a day when drivers have been hunting for lines to make their car faster, Martin Truex Jr. has been fastest all the way at the bottom of the racetrack. Halfway down the backstretch right now. Back into turn number 3 again. Right down on the bottom of the racetrack as he heads to the main straightaway.
White flag will be displayed this time for Martin Truex Jr. 1 to go. It's a Credit One Bank. 1 to go. Martin Truex Jr. on his way to a win at Dover.
Final time through turns 1 and 2, a jaw-dropping performance for Furniture Row Racing. He has brought the field and Miles the Monster to its knees. Here's Martin Truex Jr. standing tall in the saddle, headed for the checkered flag.
Ready to race for a championship? You bet. He has done it again here at the Monster Mile, crossed the start-finish line under the checkered flag, and Martin Truex Jr. is a winner once again. He will score the victory over Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, and Matt Kenseth. That is your top 5. Winston Kelly, let the celebration begin.
And the celebration is going on. Joe Garone, Cole Fern, all on top of the pit box, all celebrating with Sherry Pollux, Martin Truex Jr.'s girlfriend. Going to see if we can get up here and get a quick comment. Tears of joy, we hear them going around. Joe Garone put this team together. Cole on the other side of the pit box. Joe, 2 wins in the 3 first segments here. You got to feel real good about this race team. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, the team's just unbelievable. And, we didn't get a lot of practice.